Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video. And in this one I wanted to talk about a little something that's definitely game related, but in a sense can go into a little bit of a personal territory. And you know, it seems like with the success of other games and the popularity of other games, it seems that a lot of people have left Call of Duty, but yet I'm still here. So sometimes I get that feeling of, you know, it's like everybody's gone, but why am I still here? And I wanted to get into that. I wanted to talk about that a little bit more in depth. And sometimes every once in a while I start to think, well, what if CoD dies? And then I actually tweeted at the Korean Savage, and he said, in his opinion, CoD will never die. And then I also got another response from another gentleman that said that it's basically like the Madden of first-person shooter games. So both of those guys made a point, especially the gentleman that said it's the Madden of FPS games, which in turn does make sense. But there's a little bit more of an in-depth to my answer to why I'm still here, and it goes a little bit beyond the fact that this is mainly a Call of Duty channel in terms of the gameplay that you see in the background. So why am I still here? Well, there's a couple things that have come to my attention lately. You know, sometimes when you're thinking subconsciously, or when you're not paying attention to, if you're not exactly in the moment all the time, sometimes there are things that definitely slip in terms of your reason for doing things, or when you tend to look at things in a more in-depth manner. And that is, well, in terms of my Call of Duty content as well as my own quote-unquote Call of Duty skills and capabilities, I'm not satisfied, like, completely. I've come a long way in terms of what I'm able to do in a game, obviously, and my style is way too aggressive, and I know already that I will never be the kind of guy that gets nuclear after nuclear in a game or whatnot, because I just play too damn aggressive. I always want to keep on moving, but at the same time I think that's what makes me unique. Now granted, I know that there's some players out there that are just as aggressive, but they do it better, there's no doubt about it. But that's the other thing, it's the fact that I'm still trying to get better. Like, and by the way, something I wanted to talk about briefly was streaming, and I think from now on, whenever I play Call of Duty in general, there should be no excuse as if to why I don't stream. You know, every once in a while, sure, play without streaming, that's fine, but like for the most part, there's really no reason to why I shouldn't stream. Like every single time I play Call of Duty, whether it's Black Ops 1, 2, 3, whatever flavor of Call of Duty, I should always be streaming, because I'm still doing the same thing, and the fact that when you're talking, interacting with people, it makes it a lot more fun. And at the same time, it kind of keeps your motivation going, because when you play Call of Duty by yourself sometimes, well, I mostly play by myself, and that's what I prefer. I'll get more in depth into playing with viewers in just a second. But when you're playing by yourself, you know, it's kind of like the equivalent of going to the gym by yourself. It makes a difference when you have a partner, when you have a spotter, a partner, a buddy to work out with. It makes a big difference in the motivating factor and in terms of the way you'll push yourself. And it's the same thing applies to Call of Duty. You can still play by yourself, that's fine. You can still, you know, but when you have people in the chat that are talking to you, or they ask you whether it's to play, or whether they say, wow, that was a good game, or wow, that's a good stream, I had a lot of fun, thank you, or when they say, you know, maybe you should try this weapon, I'd love to see you use this weapon, or this setup or something like that, it just motivates you. It motivates you, and at the same time, it gives you, it's like positive feedback. It's like, hey, you're doing very well, you know, because a lot of the times when you play by yourself and you're just having a regular play session, you don't hear that kind of stuff. I mean, you could tell yourself, hey, that was pretty good and stuff like that, but a lot of the times I am also my own worst critic. You know, I will point out my flaws. I'll constantly kick myself in the head for it, for whatever reason. That's the way I am in life as well. Like realistically speaking, if I fuck up, I won't stop kicking myself in the head for a while. It's not something that I get over very, very quickly. And I do realize that I'm human. I do realize that I make mistakes, and that I have my weaknesses and strengths like everybody else. But at the same time, because of the fact that I'm aware of these things, I constantly kick myself in the head. It's like, why aren't you working on this? Why aren't you getting better with this? So, and the same thing applies to Call of Duty. It just goes to show just how much of a part of my life Call of Duty has become in that sense. and it's something that I'm aware of. I'm aware of the fact that I could get quote-unquote better scores or something like that, for instance, in a game if I would just slow down slightly, like a little bit in certain areas. And sometimes I do, but for the most part, I just like to keep moving. I guess it's my, I don't know, maybe it's my impatience. And in some ways in life, I'm incredibly patient. But I guess in some other different things, I am not. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out how I'm still trying to figure out how to maximize my effectiveness with my playstyle, and while always being on the move. You know, like for instance, Ronaldinho, in my opinion, is a master of this. He moves so fast, and his target, he snaps on the target so well, and he always looks like he's an offensive player, but he's also defensive at the same time. And that's the kind of play style that I want to kind of acquire. Granted, I'm not as good as Ronaldinho. Well, I can definitely say that, but I like to think that I'm still improving, because there are still things that I'm able to do now that I wasn't able to do less than a year ago in Call of Duty. So even with this game, in Black Ops 2, which I have the most time spent played on. Before I forget, I also wanted to talk about the streaming with, playing with viewers on stream. I think next week, which is going to be a big week because of mom's surgery, I'm sure you guys already knew that, I will not be working on Monday or Tuesday. I'm obviously not going to be working on Friday, but on Monday and Tuesday, to my knowledge as of now, are still going to be my normal days off. So I'm thinking of making one of those days Play with the Viewers Day, or if not both, because you guys are asking for those a lot, and you guys have been incredibly supportive. So I may just do that. I may just do both of them, and I usually like to dedicate one day out of the sessions that I play to play with you guys, because you ask. I just and whenever I say no, it really does break my heart to say no, because I know that there are those of you that want to play and stuff like that. And when somebody asks to play with you, it's the ultimate compliment, especially when they view your stuff and support you on YouTube and all that. But in terms of the amount of support and everything from the feedback and everything, it's twice as heartbreaking to say no. But don't take it personal. I just prefer to play by myself, even if my friends were to get on and say, hey, you know what, we haven't played Call of Duty in a while, let's play. I guarantee you we wouldn't be playing all the time together like we used to back in the Black Ops 1 days, when I was just your average Call of Duty player, if that. Now I'm slightly above average, or decent as I like to say, and I just prefer to play on my own because I am training in a sense. And that's the thing that I haven't realized, is that I'm training myself, and I'm just not really paying attention to it in that sense, because sometimes I'm just not in the moment for whatever reason. So in a sense, in my mind, I'm still not good enough. I'm still a noob, and I'm still getting ready. And I'm preparing myself for the Call of Duty season next year, because it's going to be big, not just for the channel, but for me as well. And I want to be ready, and I want, you know, I don't know. I guess there's a part of me that wants to be like one of those guys that gets mentioned in terms of this guy's pretty good, but we all can dream, right? But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. Thank you so very much for the support on the streams. You guys have been absolutely incredible. We're almost at 500 subs, which is absolutely surreal to me. And follow me on Twitter in terms of what I'm going to be planning on streaming on Monday and Tuesday or whatnot. And that's it. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.